nearly 1,000 years before the events in The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion and The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls Online lets you take part in the stories set within the compelling history and deep lore of the Elder Scrolls franchise. Designed to be played exactly the way you want to play, you can start wherever you like. With no level restrictions and no subscription required, this massive world is yours to explore, alone or with friends. Choose a favorite location or storyline and jump in. From the capital cities of the Three Alliances to the magical Somerset Isles. From the Khajiit territory of Elsewhere to Morrowind, the home of the Dark Elves. From frozen Skyrim in the north to the endless swamps of Blackmarsh, adventure is everywhere. Are you ready to forge your own legend? Options for creating and personalizing characters in the Elder Scrolls Online are almost without limit. Choose from 9 different character races, with a 10th race option available as well. Select from 6 unique classes. Customize them to fill exactly the role you want to play. Want to create a high elf sorcerer who wears heavy armor and wields dual daggers for close quarters combat? Why not? Or maybe a red guard dragon knight who prefers light armor and a bow. It's completely up to you. Earn skill points as you adventure across Tamriel to improve your character. Then master and customize your skills to match your style of play. As you explore the world, keep an eye out for sky shards. For every 3 of these rare crystals you collect, you earn a bonus skill point to spend on your character. The in-game skill advisor provides recommendations on how to best spend your points at each level, based on the different roles available for your character. And you can always reset your skills and allocate your points whenever you visit a major city, so you can build and play the exact character you imagine. Go anywhere. Do anything. That's the freedom presented in the Elder Scrolls Online. The game scales your character to the content, so explore any dark cave or mysterious forest that intrigues you. Adventure on your own, or with friends, even if those friends have wildly different levels or belong to different alliances. Dive into the rich and varied story content as a solo player, or join a group to take on the most dangerous dungeons and boss monsters in the world. During your character creation, select one of the 3 alliances competing for power in this era: the Daggerfall Covenant, the Ebonheart Pact, or the Aldmeri Dominion. Each alliance features a unique and compelling storyline, but your choice never precludes you from playing with friends of different alliances. The Elder Scrolls Online is designed so you can travel anywhere at any time, no matter your level or alliance. Tamriel is a dangerous place. When you cannot sneak or talk your way out of conflict, you have to fight. The Elder Scrolls Online features an action-based combat system, reminiscent of the classic Elder Scrolls games. Use your skills, special abilities, and a combination of light and heavy attacks to defend yourself and your allies while you obliterate your foes. Unleash powerful synergy attacks when fighting as part of a group, and use block and dodge to reduce damage and avoid enemy attacks. Around obstacles, or even set yourself up to unleash a potent surprise attack. Even the best solo player needs a little help now and then. Use the group and activity finder and the friends list to team up for or other adventure. Elder Scrolls Online community is extremely welcoming to new and invites them to join in. Our players go out of their way to help new players and show them the ins and outs of adventuring in Tamriel. This is especially evident within player guilds, a great way to meet others and develop lasting relationships that enhance your game. Join a guild to trade resources, tackle group content, or simply chat about the latest revelation of lore. There are also in-game guilds your character can join to receive new skill options and special rewards. The Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, and the Thieves Guild are all accessible through story content. And for a real challenge, join the Undaunted and earn a unique skill line and extra rewards for tackling group dungeons. Dungeons present some of the most difficult and dangerous content available in the Elder Scrolls Online. From the small dungeon delves that challenge solo players, to group dungeons that require 4 players to take on, to the ultimate 12-person trials. These strange and wondrous places offer amazing visuals, complex battles, and compelling opponents unlike anything else in the game. Once your character reaches 10th level and you have a better understanding of the game, the Elder Scrolls Online gives you the option to participate in a variety of player versus player, or PvP, content. Duels offer a more intimate PvP experience, where you can test your skills or try out a new character build in one-on-one combat against another player. Battlegrounds present short, intense combat as 4-person teams take on 15-minute battles to earn achievements, experience, and special rewards. Alliance wars are large-scale battles where the 3 alliances fight for control of the capital of Cyrodiil. With siege weapons and massive armies, fight to capture and defend keeps and win the day. While you adventure and explore, don't forget to collect the valuable resources you find scattered throughout the world. These items can be used to craft weapons, armor, food, potions, and accessories that you can use to improve or further customize your character. Develop your skills in one or more professions and improve them by completing specialized crafting writs. The professions include alchemy, blacksmithing, enchanting, clothing, woodworking, provisioning, and jewelry crafting. The Elder Scrolls Online provides players with the ability to own and personalize homes for their characters all across. Homes can be acquired by completing quests, purchased through the Crown Store, or bought with in-game gold. Houses consist of single-room abodes to multi-mansions, but nothing beats the opulence or grandeur of a manor house, complete with luxury accommodations for your character and up to 24 guests. Craft furnishings and accessories
Thanks, Maribel, and welcome to ESO. We're kind of having some behind work that we're going to have to work on here in a little bit. But in there, getting ready for the next chapter, that's a big process. And that starts with us learning more about the daily login rewards that we're going through in ESO Online. The site's going a little bit slow, but that's okay. We'll get that going here for you guys. What I'm looking in here is I'm looking and hoping for those of you guys in Forks today. Start traveling over from Forks from home over to Port Angeles, to where you'll be able to get over into the game tonight, and then you'll be able to get back after the game safely back home to Forks. So looking in here really quick, this is kind of a mess right now inside of ESO Online, and this is not here today. So I'm going to be going over here some in Twitter and talk about the new upcoming version. This is a really good stuff. I'm not sure why this is going so, like going to the same place every day. This is just a process process. So us getting up to the versions, I need a little bit more. The reason why I'm going to be talking about the upcoming version of 1.4 server. You'll start understanding why I'm talking about these types of things here before the next chapter is released here in June. You guys might think of those as kind of a little boring. I don't think they're so boring. You want to look into the different stuff that's in Elder Scrolls Online. There's a whole large, vast universe in Elder Scrolls, and it's a fun thing getting involved with Elder Scrolls. I want those of you guys that are in Elder Scrolls Online as a member to stay as a member. It's an important thing to stay as a member and stay involved in Elder Scrolls. That's such a fun thing involved with ESO. That's the very starting point of learning about the different game series in Elder Scrolls. I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff here for getting started here. We have some stuff going on over in Germany right now. That's an awesome thing. Is that over in Hamburger, or is that over in where the bowl is? They're going to the bowl. They're going to the bowl. They do. Do Germans do the Draugr dance? Do the Germans know the Draugr dance? Well, that's yet to be seen. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get us in to Twitter here right now, and we're just going to start up because we're running a little slow right now. Those of you guys moving on and traveling in Forks, I am hoping and praying. Think about it. You're over. You're thinking, I'm trying to get to Port Angeles. How do I get there? Well, in a nutshell, that's how that works. And so I'm going to go further in here on the 4 set that's going on here in from ESO Online and Twitter. I want those of you guys that are sitting at your apartment or at your house, sitting and relaxing. I want to make sure that you get logged into Twitter. If you're on another channel such as Facebook, just stay on Facebook. That's fine. But if you are hearing, go into your Twitter account, because if you're only a Twitter user in the three major channels, you want to make sure you log into Twitter so you can see what's going on. It's a beautiful thing. So I got over here into Twitter and gonna go back over into ESO Online. This is an important step for us. I'm gonna log into the account because ESO Online, for some odd reason, logs out within anywhere from a couple of minutes to 30 minutes. The site, for some odd reason, just stays on for no longer than 30 minutes. So if you're going in and logging into ESO Online, you'll kind of understand how the site actually works. You can't be for some odd reason you can't be logged in for a long extended period of time. I'm guessing because the system has to be replenished, has to be refreshed in order for the patchings to work. So I'm logged in here into ESO Online. That's a great thing that we're moving forward. This is a slow, complex process of what I'm doing. So some of the stuff that I'm talking about, you guys won't even understand. You're like, okay, yeah, let's just move on and get to where we're supposed to be going. So those of you guys users, I want to make sure you guys are logged into Twitter right now, so you can see this, so you can learn the system a little bit better over in Twitter, to where you can see these things come in. This is an important thing for you guys that are Twitter users. Very, very important. So it looks like we have a 4-set new pack that is coming in. Who's it going to be today that's playing the game? The first build. So I have a real life Thieves Guild going on. I can talk about this quest throughout and throughout. I've got a personal had some silver dollars. She had multiple silver dollars with her. She brought the silver dollars over to my place, and we looked at the silver. Now, this is the point. I'm gonna come. I'm here. So those of you guys that are getting into the next chapter, you're gonna love this. This is the 4-set pack coming in, and we have the Thieves Guild coming in through the tunnel. You're like, where's the Thieves Guild? So what I'm talking about in the 4-set pack, this will come to life much more in a little bit as you understand this. Thieves Guild DLC. So we got it. Come on, Thieves Guild. You gonna go in? Are you going to get that prize? Are you going to get the treasure hunter's horse? Are you going to get the treasure hunter's horse? You gotta make sure. So this is the real set. We got the Cake Guardian in the background. We have the girl. We have the boy. Now, here's how the story has been, how this has been foretold. The Cake Guardian has been watching this all along. And like, yeah, boy, why'd you take that cake ball from everyone? The thief has been caught red-handed. Why'd you steal that cake ball, boy? Well, the boy's other friend that he doesn't know that is his friend is saying, hey, you should actually give that cake ball back to her because that cake ball belongs to her. You kind of see what I'm saying with the silver dollar? The silver dollars have come up missing. And so therefore, who's going to go in? Is the Thieves Guild going to go in? Or is the Dark Brotherhood going to take care of getting the cake ball, so to speak, back to her? Do you see how the story is starting to develop? This is a great, great story to where we learn and we do no wrong. This is an important thing, learning about the 4-set cake box set that you guys are preparing to get here today. Did you get the Frost Astronaut cake? Did you get the Frost Astronaut crate here yesterday? I hear it's 5,000 crowns. How much is 5,000 crowns in Tamriel? What's the game currency in real life money? Have you ever looked at how much? I'm not going to explain how much 5,000 crowns is actually costs you. If you have taken the imaginary cake ball, so to speak, like a silver dollar, look at what happens. Little voices are already talking where there's a person who brought a silver dollar over in the local community already. Where did that silver dollar come from? Well, those silver dollars are going back to her. You get what I'm saying? The imaginary cake ball is really the silver dollars. Think I'm joking? I'm not joking. If you got a real cake ball, you got to give that cake ball back to somebody who's going to take those silver dollars back to her. Those cake balls. She was crying earlier, and I had no idea why she was crying. The only reason I know because I know her. And what I'm talking about is in real life, when you see somebody who is crying and then you don't know what is, you usually understand at a later time. It really takes me just about a minute to understand. And so what's happening here in the story of the 4-set, we shall see. So I'm going to go back here into ESO Online, and we're going to look and see what is going on with the Thieves Guild. Huh? What's going on with the Thieves Guild? I'm going to check out, is ESO Online logged in? This is going further into the new version coming in 9.4.0. If you don't understand this, this is the real 9.4.0 version being communicated right now. Kind of seems messy. Not really, but it is really messy when you don't have information on the new versions coming in. 10.0.1 is a long ways to go before the next chapter is going. So yeah, we gotta go. Hey, you forks. Hey, you and Forks, you got to get to Port Angeles. Move it. Move it. Move it. The werewolf form won't do you any good. You got to go in as your skeleton self. So, you know what? You came out naked out of your mama's womb. Yeah, better get moving over to Port Angeles. Those Port Angeles people are waiting for you, Forksy. Forks. All right, so logged into ESO Online. Better get moving, dude. Keep ESO news on right now and watch this so you can learn, so you get into trouble. You get what I'm saying? So if you see a nice, pretty silver dollar in the area, you know it's someone else's. And what you do is you gotta communicate to the proper channels on where those silver back to her. That's an important. Those are basically the only silver dollars we know that's kind of around in the United States. So you're thinking like, yeah, those silver dollars have to go back to her. Now you're kind of getting what I'm saying, where those cake balls have to go back to her. I'm just not saying take the cake balls back to her. I'm telling y'all, she needs to get the cake balls back. Because those are basically the silver dollars we have. You really get it? Those are about the only cake balls that we have. And going in, we just don't have the treasure hunter's horse yet, but I'm trying to get the treasure hunter's horse in. So once we get the treasure hunter's horse in, I can show you what I'm talking about of how we are going to mold the cake balls. Okay, so get in here. Oh, so exciting. I know, it's so exciting. Oh, that cake ball is so exciting. You know, me and the cake guardian are looking at you like, you shouldn't be touching that cake ball. You give that cake ball back to her. All right. What was this? Oh, treasure hunters. That's right. Treasure hunter's horse. Let's see if that that's apostrophe, yes. And the horsey's going in. Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. Here you go, nice horsey. Yeah, eat that before you go in. You don't want to eat too much, horsey, okay? So treasure hunter's horse is going in. Thieves Guild, you gotta take care of the treasure hunter's horse. Because nobody else is gonna take care of the treasure hunter's horse. You don't want that bad thing to happen like what happened to us back in Riften. We don't want that to happen again. We need the treasure hunter's horse to be nice and healthy. We need a good running horse. So when the cake balls get stolen from us, what do? We find out where the cake balls are. And then we take the cake balls back to the rightful place. That's how that's done. So looking in here of how we're going to get the real cake balls. Well, treasure hunter's horse has something to do with it, but also a silver can. We want to buy a silver can today So you can contribute to the cake balls being made by the silver cans. This is a perfectly good silver can. This is really, it's a gaming drink that you can drink and enjoy while you're playing the game. Really good. Comes in many different flavors and very inexpensive. Now, the treasure hunter's horse is very inexpensive as well, but the treasure hunter's horse is very expensive when things come up missing. So you want to make sure that you try to be in good graces with everyone. So when you find that silver dollar, give that silver dollar to the one who's going to take those silver dollars. Like everybody that's receiving the silver dollars, they're going to take those silver dollars back to her. So get your treasure hunter's horse. Doesn't cost you anything right now, and that's the blessing in that. We got to get over into the next chapter. You see what I'm saying? We've got to get into the next chapter. And you might be asking, as you're driving from Forks over to Port Angeles, what does this have to do with the new version 9.4.0 have to do with this segment? Well, it has something to do with Treasure Hunter's Horse and the Thieves Guild. But what else does this have to do with the silver cake balls? You know what I'm saying? What is going on with the cake balls? We need to produce more cake balls. You might see the treasure hunter's horse as the horse is free. That horse is not for free. That horse is not free. The guild already knows that. And this is just going to be great. Oh. Now let's see here. I'm going in here a little too quick. Horsey, hold your horsey. Hold your horsey. Hold your horsey. Hey, we're checking out. Are we logged in? Are we logged in to 9.4.0? Yes. Logged in. Again. Okay, so account is logged in. So this is some complex stuff. So have you bought your cake ball yet? It's an important thing to buy the cake ball to contribute to this. That's more understandable. Looking for a free cake ball. Buy a cake ball. You gotta buy a cake to get a cake. It's like buy one get one free. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever heard of that? Where you buy Back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. The treasure hunter source is just moving back and forth. Just back and forth. Just back and forth. Back and forth. Thinking about version 9.4.0. And the Dark Brotherhood is preparing to go in. Dark Brotherhood. And will the Dark Brotherhood score? They're looking going in. They're in the middle. They're going over to the left. Dark Brotherhood passes over to item. Dark Brotherhood passes over to the one forward. Dark Brotherhood's going in. There is a question mark about the other players. Then the Thieves Guild is just ganging up on. And the Thieves Guild is looking to shoot and scores. Not so glamorous, huh? The Crown Store 4-set Zon Arms Pack is now available for you guys to look at. As the Dark Brotherhood's not even going to be in the next chapter. So you don't even have to worry about the Dark Brotherhood. You got to worry about the Thieves Guild because they're getting in there like, I don't want to steal. I've got this armor on me, but I don't want to be on fire. No! You get what I'm saying? Like, steal something. Yeah, I might have some fire on you. Yeah, you might be burning and you ain't gonna be feeling so hot. This is on Arms Pack. Wow, this is amazing. Simply amazing. Restoration. Simply amazing. Restoration. Simply amazing. Restoration. Simply amazing. Restoration. All right, that is funny. Like, I think it's saying like the old scribes are looking at the new scribes like, yeah, we could use a new scribing system. Well, what is that new version 9.4.0 at? Well, it kind of starts out with the 4-set Dark Brother DLC. As you can see on Twitter, as you log into Twitter today. I'm going to take a quick break here. This is some great stuff. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your drive. I will be right back. And before I take a break, this is the beautiful thing about the new version upcoming. This is the great thing about the spoken word. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing written anywhere where we're talking about 9.4.0. But this is where we're actually discussing the version of 9.4.0. This is the actual study of the version, as the others, for some reason, can't communicate the actual version numbers. You get what I'm saying? The actual version 9.4.0 cannot literally be communicated until we have information such as you're going to be able to see the information here in the future as you see this version going in, furthering into ending at 10.0.1. There's some information that has been erased, and what we have to do is we have to go in order. When you understand that there has to be a total of 61 versions explained before the release of the next chapter in June, you'll understand a little bit more of how slow we're going to have to be and how fast the outside is going to have to be. Getting the versions communicated. When we don't have written information, it's really hard to talk about like us moving forward and what's going on. Earlier today, I logged in to the game, and there was some update information that had been uploaded and has went through. However, the numbers have not yet gone in. You see what I'm saying? We're at a 9.3.8 currently on the server, but we're literally moving forward with 9.4.0. You see what I'm saying? The spoken word supersedes the written word. See what we need? We need both the spoken and written word. It all begins with a spoken word. So that's all that needs to be known right now as far as that is we need written information on 9.4.0. So right now during this segment, please start writing about 9.4.0 so we have information to go off of when we have when we have future bugs, we can actually fix those bugs that have been giving problems. See what I'm saying? It's not people that give problems. It's the malfunctions that have been created by different people. So what we have to do is we have to fix the malfunctions. We have to fix the malfunctions through the versions that are being communicated. So this is a great time. What is going on with 9.4.0? Well, we're going to find out in the patch notes here really quick. I'll be right back here in a little bit. Welcome back to ESO News. Hope you guys are having a good drive going from Folks and getting over to Port Angeles. Hope you guys are in Port Angeles right now and enjoying the time before game night happens here tonight. This is what we're receiving today here in the daily login rewards of Lethal Poison. Going to receive a little over 200 of the Lethal Poison bottles. The lethal poison helps deal more damage for in-game combat, and that's a great thing for you guys to understand when you're playing the game. You're having a hard combat and you can't get out. That's the bug fix that's gonna help us out with the current bug that's happening with what has been seen in the update 42 presentation of the current bug that's happening for us. Whether you are a skeleton or in werewolf form, you don't really want to go in werewolf form because werewolves are usually not characters that are presented as characters in the game of Elder Scrolls. So if you want to be a werewolf, you're gonna have to kind of play underground. You see what I'm saying? In your battlegrounds exercises that you do. For Elder Scrolls players, this is an important thing to understand of what we're receiving each and every day. It's an important thing also to understand how these things are moving very fast. And I want to express how you guys that are going into the next chapter, you're going to want to buy Zon Arms Pack. That's part of the version that's going to help fix the bugs going into the next chapter of Gold Road. By buying Zon Arms Pack, that helps the circulation of the cycle of payments to where we all get paid back. And that's the purpose of you guys buying Zon Arms Pack here today. It's about anywhere from 2,500 to 2,000 crowns, I think, is what the actual arms pack is in the 4 set that was previously shown. I'm going to go here really quick back to ESO Online and look into the patch notes that are going on. This is kind of a hard thing to see as I head on here, and it looks like, yep, this is right here. I'm going to get into it right here as we're moving a little bit faster. I was going to explain the version 9.4.0 through 9.3.5. This is a very, very difficult subject as we're catching up, basically. Some of the stuff is a little bit harder to understand, and by us going to some of the first pieces of information that we have about update 42, and in order to get update 42 completed, we have to go back to some of the very first writings that have been written for the update. Some of these updates are hidden; they're invisible to us, to our eyes, and so right here, looking in here, what information do we go off of to explain how we're talking about 9.4.0 rather than the information that we see, such as 9.3.5. So it says right here, welcome to the Elder Scrolls Online version 9.3.5. Well, we know that we're in the version 9 because we see the number 9. Now, how do we get to the fourth, like the second middle number of number 4? Well, we see the year right here of the current year of 2024. We know this is current because this is the current year of 2024. Also, there's some information about this DLC features 2 challenging new 4-player PvE dungeons. And so those of you guys that are PvE players, you're gonna wanna make sure you understand the reason why we have 4-player PvE dungeons. It's for the purpose of fulfilling the versions in the game and communicating what the versions are. Some of these things are just not even understood. Some of these things are just abstract, and understanding like on the written word and piecing together what version we're on, it's sometimes almost next to like impossible. And so we have the 9.4, but where is the 0? I was looking in here a little later on. We don't have a 0 from Oathsworn. You might think a 0, you might think, hey, we can relate 0 to Oathsworn. So we have Oathsworn Pit. That's a good training ground for us to getting the number 0. And this says right here, Oathsworn Pit is a training ground for Malakath's chosen. And God of Curses demands you enact revenge on behalf of the fallen. In Bedlam Vel, located within the demiplane of Maelstrom, you'll find cultists have invaded. And it's up to you to defend this ancient vault and the mysterious relic it protects. What's that mysterious relic? Some might say, hey, it's Malakath's statue we've got to get. And that could be, I don't know. Completing these dungeons gives you the chance at obtaining a number of new item sets, collectibles, achievements, and more. What this information says here, by getting new item sets, collectibles, achievements, and more, this is involving the version, getting the version 9.4.0. Hopefully you're kind of understanding what I'm talking about here. As part of the free base game update, we've added 3 new PvP item sets. What this looks like is this is leading us into the number 0. However, this is an abstraction currently. 3 new PvP item sets that are earned from rewards of the worthy, in addition to a new antiquity. We've also unified gear repair kits to aid in inventory woes. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about here, where we're going to be led into where we earn the number 0, where we understand the 0. We have to pay for some of this information. And so what I'm talking about, when we find the number 0, that's when we use just the information from welcome to the number 0, wherever number 0 is. See here, we've also unified gear repair kits to aid in any inventory woes. That's a beautiful thing. We've also unified gear repair kits. Now the gear repair kits, those are an important thing to where we can repair the version numbers you see as right here as one of the first versions we presented for 9 for the update 42 that's coming in, that we're trying to fulfill. You see what I'm saying? This is an end times game, and this is a great thing to start understanding. Also, this stuff is abstract when you look at like what version is what version. See here, we've also unified gear repair kits to aid in any inventory woes, and siege equipment will also now stack. As you can kind of see where the alliance points in the daily login rewards that you've received with the recent alliance points that you guys have received from being able to use the siege equipment inside of either like the battlegrounds exercises that you do, or in the alliance war battles that you might be involved in. So this will also now stack. Undaunted key rewards have been increased, and we've also updated graphic settings, presets, and the minimum specs for the game. We hope you enjoy this year's first DLC, which is approximately 2.26 gigabytes in size. So don't worry about the actual sizes of the files just yet. When you see a bunch of different files like being uploaded, it's kind of a concern to be looking at when you have a limited amount of memory. And so that is the purpose of here talking about the version 9.4.0 that is currently being spoken about. In the table of contents, new features, updates, big changes, Scions of Athalia DLC game pack. You don't want to click on the link because we have to find out the information where the number 0 is. 2 new dungeons. What are those 2 new dungeons? You kind of understand where Scions of Athalia is the game breaker for the next chapter. Scions of Athalia is a small part that's considered a bigger part of the next chapter. This will make a lot more sense once the next chapter is almost here in June. You guys will kind of understand this a little bit more with new item sets, achievements, and titles. Update 41 base game, unified repair kits, stackable siege weaponry, new rewards for the worthy, new antiquities, new collectibles. You kind of understand with all of this information, with the patch notes, you'll start understanding what's going on in the next chapter. With new collectibles, increased undaunted key rewards, tutorial updates, new furnishings, new container icons, UI font rendering, minimum spec update, updates to graphic settings presets, combat and gameplay, combat and abilities, itemization and item sets, companions. That'll be a great thing when we learn of what new companions are available for you guys going into the next chapter of Gold Road. Fixes and improvements, chapters and DLCs base game. The information right here where it's showing edited by Zos blah 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 on blah 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 blah, that has no bearing to the number 0 of the version that we're talking about. What we want to concentrate is on the specific number 0 from when the welcome, where we read the welcome, to the number 0. Going further on to where there's new features, updates, big changes. You'll see game pack, 2 new dungeons. You might see this as like a relation, and this has no bearing on the number 0. As you see, this was written on March 10th. So looking in here on the 2 new dungeons, Oathsworn Pit. Now that looks like one of the 2 dungeons that is coming in for you guys along with Bedlam Bell. Hopefully that number 0 is coming in. For centuries, the secluded retreat of Oathsworn Pit has been a proving ground for followers of Malakath, honing their martial skills in the shadow of the Daedric Prince. A band of wood elves calling themselves the Recollection have recently arrived with an ultimatum. Join their army or die. Bending the knee to these usurpers, whatever that's called, would draw shame in the eyes of Malakath, and battle commenced. Now the lodges of the pit stand against the Recollection to free themselves from the shackle of servitude. But do the Wood Elves have another motive? They're kind of thinking Bedlam Bell is better than Oathsworn Pit. So I can see a definite 2 groups forming inside of the two dungeons that are being presented for Scions of Athalia. Bedlam Bell is one of them, and Oathsworn Pit is the other one. There's some good information for you guys that are going into the next chapter. The workshop of Fa Nuit Inn. There's probably some chickens in there. Bedlam Bell has been invaded by a mysterious force calling themselves the Blind Path. Wow. This is going to be some fun stuff for you guys getting into the next chapter, and led by an imposing Daedra known as the Blind. Daedra's probably blind. Her forces. This is not Athalia. This is the Blind. So this is a different character. Her forces have seized control of the workshop, searching for an artifact of great importance. The Echoneer. Fa Nuet Hen. Back. Ever delighted by surprises and tests, is amused by this intrusion. And could he remember? So Fa Nuet is a male character in the game, apparently. Could he remember what the Echoneer was? Or where it was? He would undoubtedly seal it away. One thing is for certain. Artifact must not fall into the hands of the Blind and her forces. Oathsworn Pit and Bedlam Vel are 4-player dungeons which can be reached via the Reach and Hrothgar respectively. That's not making sense on this end of in the dungeon DLC. Why is this not near places like Anvil? Why this might not even be in the Reach? Or what this looks like is the Oathsworn Pit and Bedlam Vel are in Hrothgar. I'm not in Gold Road, so I'm just using the information from what I see. What I see is those of you guys that are getting into the battlegrounds are most likely going to be in Hrothgar, respectively. Oathsworn Pit's entrance is in the northern section of the Reach. The entrance is north of the Druidoc Mountains Way Shrine. So this is just another form of the Reach. Hrothgar is what I'm talking about. Over in the Reach, you really don't see much about Oathsworn's Pit, so you'll kind of understand the mindset of when somebody says, "Hey, we're going over to Hrothgar." Some will call Hrothgar the Reach, but it's really called Hrothgar. Both dungeons include a normal version in addition to a veteran version. Each dungeon features challenging hard modes for each of their 3 boss encounters. That's going to be a battle with you guys going into the next chapter of facing 3 different bosses. They're probably pretty difficult bosses to defeat. So getting that bug fixed, you guys gotta beat. There are unique item sets, including 2 new Undaunted Monster Mask sets. Kind of a hint over with Zon Arms Pack with the Undaunted Monster Mask sets. Only available within the dungeons. Now this is interesting. Are you guys going to be able to receive Zon Arms Pack within the dungeons? That's yet to be seen. So unique achievement awards are available for completing the dungeons, including the following. Unique skin, the blood marks of Malakath, are available for those who complete both Oathsworn Pit and Bedlam Vel on at least veteran difficulty and trigger the achievement Scions of Athalia Delver. Now, what I had seen in the previous notes about the difficulty level, you guys are going to want to get involved with the death match that's going on in the game right now. 2 unique mementos, the Malakath Helm Haunt and Echoneer. I like that word, Echoneer. Examination mementos are available players who complete Oathsworn Pit and Bedlam Vel, respectively, on at least veteran difficulty. Unique die, Artifact Hunter Amber, is available for those who complete the retribution takes time achievement, you kind of understand where I'm going to come back to the 9.3.5 to get the information transmitted for where we get the update 42 completed. Right now, we're just looking for the number 0, so we have at least information on the number 0. See how complex this actually is? Several titles, unique housing items, new set items. We have added several new item sets and monster masks to acquire from the Scions of Athalia dungeons. Bedlam Veil. Light armor, blind path, induction. 2 adds 1096 maximum magicka. This is where we stop right here. Is we see that we have the number 0 through 1096. We have the number 0 right here. And this is where we stop to where we now understand that version 9.4.0 has been completed, as this is a stopping point after adds 1096. With that, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Hopefully you guys are learning more about the importance of having knowledge of the versions in the game to complete the update 42. Hopefully you guys are having a good day and drive. I'll be right back. Just got back here. Hopefully, you guys are having a good drive and sticking around over in Port Angeles to where you can watch the game night here tonight as we gear towards the next chapter. There's a lot of information to take in all at once. So I'm going to try to take this slow for you guys so you guys can understand a little bit more of some places you don't want to go into and some places you can. So this is some hard stuff to talk about when you never might have gone into parts of the game. So I'm just going to explain here in the mapping system here that I have here on the screen here soon that I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so here's the in-game screen. Okay, here we go. This is the screen I'm going to show here. This is the Sky Oblivion mapping system of where you guys see here of the as you see the nice ice scroll. This is like you scroll like this is we scroll. Yeah, this is we scroll. Okay, so gonna zoom in here a little bit as we see like pinpointing the mapping location for you guys in for Gold Road. Kind of complete, like you can kind of see the little places. I think this is where Anvil is in for the next chapter. And these are just places that you're not gonna want to cross from the next chapter that you're going into if you're going into Gold Road. See what I'm saying? Like the right here, you're not gonna want to really go into these territories. It's kind of it's a large area you guys get to adventure in. However, there's territories that you can't go into. What I'm explaining is over in Skyrim and Cyrodiil and in Craglorn, for example. With you guys having territories such as going over into places like Anvil and over in these little areas, what I'm talking about with Bedlam Vel and Osworn Pit, you guys are going to want to go into the little black icons you see here. Now, I'm just going to use these two as an example. I don't know if this is Bedlam Vel or if this is Osworn Pit, but I'm just using these two icons as an example for the sake of saying the different dungeons that are available. These dungeons might be right here and right here for Bedlam Vel and Osworn Pit. And so what I'm talking about is you guys that are going into the next chapter, it might show that you're going into the reach by that dungeon, but by you guys going just into the dungeons, you won't actually be going into the territory of Sky Oblivion by just going into the dungeon DLC. Do you understand what I'm saying? With just by going into the dungeon DLC, going into some dungeons, you can't get out. It's harder than crap to get out of the dungeon into another territory if you're not supposed to be in another territory. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. I'm gonna take a quick break here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your drive and getting ready for the game night here tonight as we're looking into furthering and getting into the next chapter of Gold Road. I'll be right back. Just got back and just about to end the news segment, gearing towards the game night. This is some good mindset here for you guys getting into the next chapter. I'm going to explain to you guys why there's territory boundaries in the game. When I was playing High Isle, we all started out in this little area here. Okay. Now I saw a little area in which I thought was gearing us towards going to all the way to Imperial City. There's a little place in High Isle that you might have remembered if you played the game for this long. You might have seen a little place that looked like Imperial City, but wasn't. It's kind of in this little area in what's called Glenumbra. Those of you guys that are getting into the next chapter, you're not want to go over into High Rock. You kind of see what I'm saying? There's territory issues to where you can't go beyond this point here where you see like the points of where water going beyond the land. Like right here kind of seems like this is the breaking point where there's certain like discernments to where you can go into Rothbar through for Osthorn Pit in the little dungeon areas, such as I'm assuming this is where Osthorn Pit is, but I'm not certain because I don't play the next chapter. This is just future information for you guys to understand where you're not want to go into certain areas. Just like over in Necrom, you guys are going to want to stick over in the east side of Tamriel if you're in Necrom. Over in High Isle, this was a good learning experience to when I was going all over the place in Glenumbra. The only reason I could get over to Glenumbra is because I'm part of Daggerfall Covenant. Daggerfall Covenant is where Bretons have immigrated over into different places throughout Tamriel, which is the theorized and assumed place is over in Blackwood. Now, those of you guys that are getting into the next chapter, those of you guys might be orcs, you might be red guards, or you might be another race that are going in. It's assumed that the struggle has kind of come in from some Argonians that are looking to like, hey, let's go over into Glenumbra. That sounds good. That sounds good to adventure in, but not so much for orcs and red guards because the orcs and red guards kind of grew up in places such as Hammerfell. When you guys are learning more about the lore in the game, you'll understand that red guards and orcs are big in the next chapter. That's some great stuff to understand. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your day and you've learned a whole gob of information about Elder Scrolls. Probably some information you didn't think you would learn. This is some great learning study of gearing towards the next chapter. Hopefully you guys have learned a lot about the new version that's coming, 9.4.2. Well, 9.4.2 is going to come in later on tomorrow. Later on tonight in game night, we're going to be discussing the new version 9.4.1. So we got the 9.40 taken care of. Hopefully you guys have had a great day and gearing up for tonight's game. I'm going to leave it with that. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of the day.